Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not letting you talk yet. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi. Last time, Rita appeared back in her house after falling in the swamp. It could only be Tomataki, maybe. I think he's just taking a low-key thing, unless something crazy happened, but I think it's just Tomataki. And currently we are talking with Oishi, Irie, and Atasata in the clinic, probably trying to get Irie on her squad, and I just fill Oishi in. I think Atasata and Keiichi are already completely filled in. Oh yeah, Keiichi's there too. But yeah, let's just continue. He's talking about Hinamizawa syndrome, I believe.
私の話せる限りのこと。
The coach began to relax and spoke in a calm tone, detailing the existence of an endemic disease called Hinamizawa syndrome, and that the Irie Clinic was established to study it. Then he told us about his unique role and everything about the underlying conspiracy. Oishi-san seemed completely blown away by these stories, but Atasata-san urged him to calm down, so he eventually listened silently. Since Atasata-san worked for a special department in the police, he didn't seem surprised by the coach's story. I mean, I get that, but it's still kind of, like, crazy. To be honest, I wouldn't blame anyone for being surprised for hearing that. He simply nodded in a way that conveyed, "I see, so that's how it is," and showed a deep level of understanding. It was very encouraging for the rest of us. But at any rate, I was surprised to hear that a plan like that was going on in this rural village. I can definitely see why Rita-chan was hesitant to tell us about it. This is obviously Keiichi POV.
でも、この話が
Well,
本当
unless
な
I
ら、
was still describing Atasata.
私が調べていたものについての疑問が理解できます。
No, I think it's Keiichi.
大石さん、これらの話は全てあり得る話だと思いますよ。
私は何かの小説の筋書き
You are not wrong about that, buddy. You are not wrong.
いや、それが事実ならば。
It was a completely outrageous story. Even though I declared that I'd believe anything Rita-chan told me, I was so surprised I couldn't even speak. Hatasata-san seemed to be in a similar position, and Oishi-san was apparently so shocked that he had to go over the window to smoke several times, just to calm himself down.
僕は高野が怪しいと思っていました。ですが、その証拠はありません。それを確かめるために、富武に調査をお願いしていたところだったのです。
So she's not revealing the time looping thing, which makes sense.
そして、彼は行方不明。疑わない方が不思議ってやつですね。
それで入江、僕はそのひなみ沢症候群において女王感染者というものなのですね。
はい。リカさんの寄生体だけは村中の誰とも違う
Is this so? This,
特
I
別
mean,
なものです。
it's obviously been proven false that Takano's theory, but like, is this still true? Maybe that's why people like love her a lot. I didn't really get like a concrete answer. Maybe it's true. It's just the second on death effect isn't real.
そしてその僕が死ぬとどうなりま。
以前お話ししたかもしれませんが、
See, this is just a
い
theory.
え、正確には
Yeah, there you
と
go.
ても大変なことになると思われますが、何しろ
Keep
リ
skipping,
カ
my
さんが
bad.
死ぬまで検証不能なのですから。
But couldn't they test it with the other ones? But I guess they came like before then. Like it's too late to get another test subject. And I wonder how it works. Like, when did the queen role change from Rita's mom to Rita? Maybe it is an age thing there. It was an inference derived from multiple example cases that closely resembled Hinamizawa syndrome, where the death of a person specified as the queen carrier triggered mass suicides and riots.
この辺は高野さんの専門だったのですが、今となっては
高野は死んでいないのです。だからこそ 知っている限りで構わないから説明してください。
一体どういうことなんです？さっき高野さんの死体が発見されたと言ったばかりじゃないですか。
公式発表としてはということで、おそらく本人かあるいは仲間によって偽装された可能性が高い。いや、確実でしょう。
偽装？なぜ？
ついさっき聞いたばかりで言い忘れてたんですけどね。高野美代は綿流しの祭りの今晩、屋台で目撃されていま
Yeah,
す。
this was just her memeing.
でも、お隣の県警さんの鑑識の結果だと、死後24時間以上が経過してい
Actual
るとのこと。
hubris.
赤坂さんに注意されてましたから、重々に念押ししたおかげで正確な時間が伝わりましたよ。
そのあたりは見ない警部のおかげですよ。
What that? Tomoe reference?
彼女のおかげで鑑識の一人の現地を取ることができたのですから。
ねえ、こっちか
あ
ら
あ
目撃情報を先に提供していたら、やっこさんたちは絶対に時間を調整して報告してきたでしょうな。
それってまさか。
Yep. Hard to believe. The coach looked deeply surprised, but he had lost the will to doubt any of this. He had a weak expression on his face as he continued.
いずれにせよ女王感染者と呼ばれる人が発病することはこの村の死を意味します。いや、それだけじゃない。理性もなく異常行動を繰り返す人間が村外に繰り出すことを考えただけでも恐ろしいことになるでしょう。それだけは何としても防がなくてはいけないと我々が存在しているんです。
なら話の腰を折らずに聞いて答えてくださいです。みんなも黙って聞いていてください。
What's Rita cooking?
そんな僕を殺して誰かが何かを得するということはありますですか？
Irei honestly wouldn't really know.
え？
Not in the loop.
リカさんを殺す？
Loop? Loop?
誰が？
いりえ、話の腰を折らずに答
Yeah,
える
come on,
約
bro.
束です。
Are you listening?
すみません。いえ、考えられません。あなたを殺して得をする人間など存在するわけがない。
It's just reverse logic. Whoever benefits from the village going crazy or having to do the emergency manual, which I don't even think they know of. Maybe Irei does. You just have to reverse logic it. But he wouldn't know anyways.
もし女王感染者に万一が
I don't think he's like deep
一
into
般感染者は
Tokyo
全員
politics.
48時間以内に末期症状に至るんです。それこそがひなみ沢症候群の最も危険な一面と言えるでしょう。
Wonder if they're gonna do the same plan. Hide Rita and, make her dead. Or quote unquote pretend like making her dead for 48 hours. To prove Tata no Rana and just call off the whole emergency manual like they did in Matsuri Bayashi.
被害妄想の拡大や錯乱などの個人症状とは比べ物にならない規模の大事態です。
その大事態を起こして誰かが得をするということは？
絶対にありえません。リカさんを殺すということは村人 2,3 人を殺すのと全く同じことです。たとえ冗談でも絶対に考えられないことです。
The coach stubbornly continued insisting on that point, and yet Takano-san is considering this plan, so why would she want to kill Rika-chan? Still, no conspiracy is without personal gain. Even if you can't understand it at first glance, that's just an oversight on your part, right? Or you're just being faked out and misled. Don't give up. Think. See through our enemy's true intentions. POV switch. Behind me, Keiichi was twisting his brain over and over, trying to unravel the true nature of this conspiracy. He's desperately searching for it, but it's not that simple. That's what it seems like, I guess. Still, you seem to have no intention of doubting me, which was the major hurdle, and for that I'm glad. At any rate, the problem is Takano.
僕が死ねばひなみ沢の人たち全員が被害妄想に取りつかれて錯乱し、鬼の血を引く末裔たちの村の終焉としてはこれ以上ないフィナーレなのです。
In the end, does Takano simply want to enact the curse to sate her own wicked desires? Since she always talks about dangerous and bizarre things, it's obvious she enjoys cruelty. I mean, it kind of, but not exactly. I wouldn't say it's exactly she enjoys cruelty, but yeah. She always talks about how she wants to witness with her own eyes the raw brutality of the man-eating demons she read about in the dark history of Onidafuji village. It's possible she wants me dead just so all the villagers will develop terminal symptoms. It's not completely out of the question.
もちろんそれが想定される最悪の事態です。ですので、もしも万一
Yep,
リカさんが死ぬような
Rita
こと
doesn't
があ
know
った場合、
about that because she's always dead,
あ
I
る
guess.
緊急措置が取られることになっています。
緊急措置初耳なのですよ。
多分初めてお話しすると思います。
Probably for good reasons. I mean, she wouldn't need knowledge of it technically, because it would only happen if she's dead.
物騒な話でしたので、私も話したくなかった。入江機関にとってひなみ沢症候群治療の中での最優先事項は女王感染者の保護です。ですが万一女王感染者が死亡し、感染者全員の急性発症が見込まれた場合、それを未然に防ぐ緊急措置が取られることになっています。
That's understandable. If all 2,000 villagers were to go insane, there would be no guarantee that the devastation would remain within the village. Obviously, it's a good idea to be prepared for the worst case scenario.
非常時用の緊急マニュアルというものが存在しまして、その中で最も危険な
I
高
mean,
い
it's
事態
technically right, but it's pretty brutal too.
つまりリカさんが死んだ場合に適用されるものが緊急マニュアル第34号というものです。
それが適用されると何かを
具体的には自衛隊の緊急時専門の部隊が平見沢を封鎖して
Yurei bit his lip, like he couldn't put into words what came next. In other words, they need to take action before the villagers go insane and destroy all traces of the truth. I only wish I were joking.
それも初耳なのです。
すみませんでした。私もあまり好きな話ではなかったもの。
Yeah, I can imagine. It's pretty heavy. I've been interested in things that happen before I die, but not in things that happen after I'm dead. The disaster only takes place after I die. I had no idea something like this occurs every single time, or rather I'm the cause. Well, it doesn't happen every time, but most times. If the enemy is capable of erasing an entire village, then killing a little girl like me won't cause a problem at all. Can we really stand against an enemy like that? Anyway, the existence of this emergency manual changes everything. Takano's motive no longer made sense. I thought her goal was for all the villagers to go mad and slaughter each other like demons. But according to what Irei said, that wouldn't even happen. The villagers will be all killed before it does. I'm not Takano, so I can't be sure, but I don't think that would be fun for her. Surface level Takano analysis, alright? True Takano stands, no. I've dived deep down in her psyche, okay? It doesn't matter, it doesn't make sense to kill me for that purpose, especially since we've known each other for such a long time. And you gotta go deeper, Rika.
高野と山犬が僕を殺すというのはあり得ることですか？
バカな。絶対にありえないことです。いや、それどころか高野さんはリカさんの保護に一番気を使っていますし、 山犬の最大の任務の一つはあなたの護衛です。そんなことは絶対にありえない。
いりえ、それでもなお高野が僕を殺すとしたらどんな動機が考えられ
Yuri
ま
is
すで
not
すか？
gonna know, man.
考えられません。
If only Tomataki here was here, he would actually be able to shed some light on this.
女王感染者の危険性について一番知っているのが彼女なんですから。それにご存知でしょう、彼女はひなみ沢症候群の研究に並外れた情熱を注いでい
But
ま
the
す。
research is gonna be cancelled in 3 years. There's an opening to connect the
あなた
dots.
を殺してしまうことはその情熱と矛盾する行為です。
Yuri continued to deny it and defend Tatano. That's because he's seen Tatano's passionate research up close and believes in it. Or rather, he wants to believe in it.
でも入江、前に一度言っていましたね。ひなみ沢症候群は確か
Yeah.
3年以内で撲滅する計画になっていると。撲滅という
There you
のは
go.
症候群を滅ぼしてしまうこと。研究を続けたい彼女の情熱にとって
Kind of,
そ
but
れは
yeah.
どうなのでし
That
ょう。
works.
それは私にとってひなみ沢症候群は治療すべき対象ですが、高野、実際彼女は3カ年計画には強く反対していて、研究の無期延長について理事会に進言するため単身上京したとまで聞いています。もっともそれは失敗に終わったそうですが。
つまり高野はもっと研究を続けたいのに、ひなみ沢症候群は3年以内に撲滅されてしまい、高野は研究対象を失ってしまうということなのですか？
I mean, this is kind of it, but I thought it was being closed down regardless. If they, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but it's not exactly gonna be eradicated. It would be closed down regardless of whether they find a cure or not. I
そ
thought,
ういう言い
anyways.
方もできるかもしれません。
I think I see something here. The Erie Institute isn't a small organization. It's being managed by a lot of people and it receives a great deal of funding. That's the only way they can even research the syndrome. So if the Erie Institute is planning to put an end to the research within 3 years, there really isn't much Tatano can do about it.
どうせ終わらせられてしまう研究なら最後に盛大にひっくり返してやりたい。
バカな。そんなことあってはならないことです。
I respect the Erie for respecting Tatano though.
でも入江も高野の性分は知っているはずなのです。あいつならやりかねない。あいつなら僕を殺しかねないという可能性は本当にありませんですか？
ありえない。ありえません。そんな恐ろしいことは絶対に。
I feel like I'm starting to see Tatano's motive, but it seems like there must be more. After all, the project will continue for at least 3 additional years. It's possible that during those 3 years, Tatano's request will be approved, and their research will get an extension. In other words, their research is guaranteed to continue for a minimum of 3 more years. Given those 3 years, why is she so desperate now? Besides, I'm always killed in June 1983. The date may change a bit, but the month won't. That must be the result of her strong willpower. It would be one thing if the research was being terminated immediately. She still has 3 years, yet she's already getting desperate. Her motive is too weak. She must be possessed of the strong conviction that it has to be in June
どう
1983.
思いますですか？圭一、どうしてこの時期に高野は実行しようと考えたのでしょうか？
Oh, let Keiichi talk.
そうか。
Suddenly, Keiichi clapped his hands together, and he seemed to have a flash of something because the grin on his face suggested he had put everything together.
関係ない話だけどさ、
Oh,
リカちゃん以前言ってたよな。 昭和58年の6月、決まった時、自分は死ぬ。
Okay.
だから、どんなことも楽しめないって。それと同じ理由ってことは考えられないか？
Mm.
だからどういうことですか？
It was frustrating. The teacher of this world was rather smart, but he had a pompous way of speaking. What do you mean? I mean, I guess he is. He could have just said it. Let him cook, man.
3
That's a
日後
little
に死ぬ。
spice.
3年後に死ぬ。期間で言えば大違いだけど、どちらも死ぬというゴールが決められている。
Mm.
しかも、自分じゃない誰かの意思によってな。それって、結局聞いた本人にとって、衝撃は同じようなもんじゃないのか？
Sure, I get it. So he's saying that Tatano is equally distraught. I forgot what I thought. I guess like she heard the news, she was distraught and gaslighted. But yeah, I get what he's saying.
なるほど。患者が衝撃を受けるのは病気で死に直面した時よりもそれを告げられた時だと何かの本で読んだことがあります。それに死刑囚が最も取り乱すのは
Makes sense, I
刑が
guess.
確定した時。
Because you have more time to accept it the longer it goes on.
そう考えると納得できない話ではありません。
Right, that's right. That was a blind spot. If I just put myself in her position, it's simple and so easy to understand. When I thought about how I was doomed to die in 1983, I almost despaired in everything. Fortunately, I had Hanyu, and nowadays I have Keiichi and the others. But if I had to face that knowledge alone, I wouldn't even be able to pretend to spend my days calmly. So, Tatano is feeling the same way?
そんなお二人ともこじつけが過ぎます。高野さんはそんなに短慮な人ではありませんよ。
Yeah, she got gaslit, that's why. Normal Tatano would have sucked it up, maybe. It's damn Nomura twisting her
だい
twisting
たい
her up.
そんなバカな計画を実行してどんな得が？爆弾を自宅で爆発させるようなものじゃありませんか。
権力闘争。
Oh, Oishi got it. When Oishi suddenly muttered that, we all turned around in response and he laughed to hide his embarrassment.
ああいやね、東京って組織がどんなところか知りませんけど、もし勢力
There
が
we
二
go.
分されてて
Pieces of the
反
puzzle
対派って
slowly
のがいたら
slotting
の
in
話ですよ。
for them.
その連中
We already
は
know this.
このプロジェクトが失敗すればきっと喜ぶんだろうなと思いましてね。ひょっとして爆弾を仕掛けてきたのってひなみ沢とか入江先生たちの研究を快く思わない連中じゃないんですか？
そんな人は組織には？
It's a big organization, bro. Harry tried to deny it, but on the other hand, he seemed to consider something and shut his mouth to think it over. In fact, the reasoning for deciding to shut down the research project within 3 years was likely because of some force within the organization was opposed or displeased with the project.
結構近いですよ、それ。まあ、現実はもっと露骨で醜悪ですけどね。
Perhaps seeing that Irie's answers were a dead on, Atasaka finally ceased silently listening to the conversation, and stepped in front of me so he could stand before Irie. Then he revealed a story which we didn't know.
入江機関のクライアントのアルファベット。これ、わかりますよね。つい最近まで、私の第7室は、巨額の裏金ルートと、それを牛耳る黒幕たちを内定していました。アルファベットプロジェクトとは、その裏金ルートのうちの一つです。
It's kind of crazy. Especially since it's such a deadly project. Government funds are provided to finance certain projects, but the reality of the situation is that it's being done to fatten the wallets of a few specific people. These people insist that they can revitalize Japan with these slush funds for the secret off-the-books projects, but that was a deception even in their own reigns. The masterminds controlling the project must have a huge financial investment in it. And uncovering that could shift the very center of Japanese politics. So, Akasaka's organizations was receiving strong pressure to halt their investigation.
ただ最初にお断りしておきますが、第7室のこの調査はすでに中断され、私たちはその任務を解かれています。ですので、私は業務上知り得たことを勝手に口外しているに過ぎません。
Wink, wink.
もちろん、私はひなみ沢へは名目上休暇として訪れています。そこだけ誤解がないようにお願いいたします。
Yuri remained silent and didn't relax. His sullen expression. Didn't relax his sullen expression. Damn it. It seemed like now that we knew the name of the Alphabet Project. He had accepted that he couldn't talk his way out of this.
その裏金ルートから毎年巨額の裏金が入江機関という下根市内にある研究機関に流れ込んでいることがすでに分かっています。そして入江機関という機関名には括弧書きで入江診療所との補記までされています。そして入江機関トップは自衛隊から出向している二等陸佐
Pretty much in name only. They just gave him that title for this.
違います。私は自衛隊なんかではありません。もうお話ししますが、私たちのクライアントはともかく、私たちは別にやましいことをしているつもりはないんです。これだけは本当なんです。
To Yuri, he's not mixed in this business, man.
信じてください。
入江の言う通りなのです。入江は騙してまでお金を受け取った
It's
りは
not
しない
his
のですよ。
doing, at least.
分かっています。で、これが入江機関名義の裏金の流れ着き先。探すのは結構骨が折れましたが、この名前に見覚えがありませんか？
これは高野さんが接触したアルファベットプロジェクト継続派の東京の幹部たち。
予想通りですね。アルファベットプロジェクトの再編は不採算部門のリストラと方向性の見直しなんかじゃない。より狡猾に、そして効率よく上層部の特定人物へ金が流れるように体制が組み替えられただけ。何のことはない。継続派も反対派も発想は同じなんですよ。さらに付け加えると、あなたの開発した治療薬のノウハウは外資系企業に高値で横流しされていたようですね。
La Steel, or whatever it's
そのあ
called.
たりの詳細は東京地検の特捜部が調査中とのことですが。
そんなバカ
They're
な。
fucking everyone up, man. It's kind of a crazy
おそらく
conspiracy.
富武二郎は
It's kind
こ
of
れを発見し
insane.
た。そして高野美代がどちらかに深く関わっていることを知り、彼女を説得しようとして逆に消された。
まだ死んだと決まった
And
わ
what
け
if
で
he's
は
just
ないの
vibing
で
in a
す。
swamp, dude? He's become a swamp person. When Atasaka heard me mutter that, he lowered his head to apologize for speculating too far. They might bring him back like as a surprise, but I'm pretty sure, again, the only real answer as to how Rita got sent back home and is safe was because Tomodachi did it. Can't really think of anything else besides like Hanyu or something crazy. When Atasaka heard me mutter that, he lowered his head to apologize for speculating too far. Then he put his notebook back into his breast pocket and turned toward Irie, who was looking defeated.
ただでさえプロジェクト停止で落ち込んでいた高野美代はどう思うか。そして継続派を組織から排除し、自分たちが後釜につこうと考えている奴らが彼女を焚きつければどうなるか。それはご想像にお任せします。
She would be fuming.
ただ、認めたくない現実から目をそらし続けても、時間は確実に進んでいく。そのことだけは決して忘れないでください。それに、
Meep? Atasata gave me a gentle pat on the head as he continued.
私はリカちゃんを信頼して彼女に手を貸そうと思った。ここにいる前原君もね。そのリカちゃんと前原君があなたを助けたいと思って必死になっている。あなたがそれを軽んじるような人でないことを。
ええ、分かっています。それだけはよく。
Iri managed to mutter that, but then hung his head. He may have been too shocked to understand everything, but considering that Takano and the others have already launched their operation, we couldn't hesitate any longer.
それから大石さん、
Yeah, what are you thinking? He's been
Aye?
real quiet this whole time.
何でしょうか。
これからの話は警察の手に余るどころかとんでもない領域に入ろうとしています。
You win or out.
それにどうも関わる山が大きすぎる気がします。大石さん、冷たい言い方をしますが、
Oh,
あなたはここで引かれ
think
た方
about
がい
your
いかもしれ
pension,
ません。
bro. I hope he doesn't have a whole pension crisis again. We already covered that. We don't need that again.
赤坂さん、それはどういう意味ですか。
先ほども言われました通り、長かった危険なお仕事がようやく終わり、そのねぎらいとして退職金を得られる直前にいる。お金は大事です。
Real Oishi wouldn't be scared. Watanashi Oishi wouldn't be scared.
家のローンの完済や老後の蓄え、そして第二の人生の支度金ですが、今回の山は危険すぎる。私の勘から言って、この山は多分最後にはなかったことにされる。
Yeah, good call, honestly.
つまり
This should lead to the public. That would be way too crazy.
すべてを失う覚悟がなきゃ、今からでも遅くないから引き返せって、そうおっしゃるんでしょう。
そうです。大石さんほどの方にこんなことを言うのは若輩の身には過ぎたことと分かっています。ですが、私は今日まで一般警察とは次元の違う山にいくつも関わってきました。だからその経験の上で大石さんにご忠告させていただいてるんです。
Oishi was no fool. He was also an adult and smart in a real sense. If he only listened to his pride, he would yell at Atasaka for insulting him. But what Atasaka is saying is true. Oishi's pension is a big deal for him. People live far beyond their retirement. They still have 10 or even 20 years left after that. Their pension is the basis for that second life. A pension isn't ordinary money. It's very, very valuable. People receive their pension for working hard on rainy days and windy days, and even enduring the moments when their bosses give them a hard time. Even Oishi has mumbled on occasion that he's going to quit and look for a new job. Yet, he endured and quietly did unreasonable work asked of him. He's endured far more than his salary merited. He's worked like that for a very long time and is now finally about to retire. He's finally about to collect his long-awaited pension. It's not about the amount of money itself, it's about having a value placed on what you've done with your life. So if one were to cause a scandal, the punishment for that would be placed on his pension. One such deplorable event can erase Oishi's entire life as a policeman. That's not something that can be treated lightly. Akasaka is still young. Even if he loses his job, he will find a new one. But Oishi is too old. The repayment of his mortgage was planned around his pension. Oishi is a grown-up's grown-up, and that's why he can't do anything reckless. Akasaka knows that, and that's why he said that Oishi should back down. Oishi understands it too, so Akasaka had to ask him that tough question in order to find out how strong Oishi's commitment was.
私がお小遣いを残したいばかりに、ずいぶんのんびりしたローン返済をしちゃいましてね。 もっと繰り上げ召喚とかしてりゃ利子の分得をできただろうに。博打やらお酒やらそんなものに使うお金が残したくてね。もし私がツケを退職金に回すような人生を選ばず、もっともっと賢く生きてきたなら。
Yep, guys, this is why you invest young. Be like me. Put aside like, even if it can only be like a couple hundred a month, it will work in the long term.
ここで私はかっこよく懲戒なんか怖くないって意気込むところなんでしょう。
Oishi's fists were trembling. That's how he shed his
で
tears.
もね、それでもね、私は刑事なんですよ。いや、そんなのはもうどうでもいいのかもしれない。私は墓前で誓ったんですよ。
There you go,
お
buddy.
やっさんを殺した犯人を必ずあげてやるって。それつまりおやっさんを殺した犯人をあげるまで私はいつまでも刑事でいるって誓いなんです。それつまり私が警官かどうかってことじゃない。私が仇を取るその日までたとえ懲戒を食らったって刑事魂を忘れないっていうことなんです。その私が
Bro's having a whole
懲戒免
crisis right
職が
now.
怖いって。
I respect it, but he's just like yelling it.
退職金が不意になるかもしれないのが怖いって。
An inner monologue thing.
ああ、怖いですよ。
It's his moment, though. Let him act. He's a theater kid right now.
何千万って金が入ることを当てにした人生設計が全部パーになるんですよ。北海道でのんびり家庭菜園を楽しんで、すすきので遊んで社交ダンスを始めて、それがパーになるのの何が私の刑事魂はそんなもんだったんですかね。品見沢村連続開始事件の真相を暴く、夢にまで願った真相の扉が今ここにあるってのに。くそーくそー、警察手帳を叩きつけりゃいい。警察なんていつでもやめてやるってなんで言えないんだ。くそーくそーくそー。
Jesus. Nobody to say anything in response to Oishi. I don't. Is he saying it out loud so we can hype him up? Should we be hyping him up? He's at the crossroad of a person who has worked so hard and so humbly for so long. How could the young people who know nothing about what he had to go through say anything at all?
大石さんは確か殺された現場監督さんの
Yeah, Yuri can answer your question. I don't know who killed him. I think he was like level 5. Maybe he killed himself. I know they just nabbed the body.
友人であり、兄貴であり、親父でした。
私は形式だけとはいえ入江機関の長です。多分リカさんをめぐる陰謀が暴かれれば必ず私にも飛び火し、何らかの形で責任を取らされる日が来るでしょう。
His position exists for exactly that purpose. To the Institute as a whole, Irie there simply to cover for Takano's research. Even Irie has started to realize it. Even if Irie hadn't done anything wrong, he would have to take the blame as the person in charge of the Institute. That was how every organization purged itself, by forcing someone to take the blame and reshuffling members. That's why leaders get more money.
すべてが終わったら大石さんにひなみ沢村連続開始事件の
he's done
す
a
べてをお話しします。
blue ball him. Thought he was just trying to tell him.
本当は終身の秘匿義務があるんですが、もういいでしょう。
What the NDA?
いやいや、そういうわけにはいきません。とだ、皆さんに協力した勇気ある大石クラウドに教えてやってください。退職金が欲しくて保身に走るみっともない大石クラウドには過ぎたもんです。
He faced a dilemma. Even though the truth behind the mysterious deaths he sought so hard was right in front of him, he couldn't just accept it with his head held high. To understand what he's going through, one would have to live the life he did. His dilemma is very fast and very heavy. Young people couldn't possibly understand.
考える時間をもらうことはできませんかね。 真相を暴き
So it is
悪を打ちたい気持ち
actual.
は
I
ある
thought he
の
was
です
just trying to accept it here, but it's actually the same.
そのために勇気を持つ時間
Alright, buddy. Go for it.
をもう少しだけ
Go meditate on it.
もらうことはできませんかね
Why is he even asking? Hit him with the who asked. Nobody here has a claim to force him to make up his mind. Of course, I don't either. However, Oishi needs someone's approval. Oishi is still passionate about his work as a police officer, yet he isn't brave enough to take on this case. He wants someone to forgive him for that. But nobody can do that, and nobody can stop Oishi from trying.
大石
Someone called Kumadai. We need him.
あなたのことを
He's the only
僕が
one.
許してあげるのです
Or I guess Rika will do as a substitute. Oishi turned this way looking completely bewildered. However, I continued without hesitation.
あなたが決心するのに必要な時間を僕は許します。あなたは今日まで自分に素直であり、そして厳しくもありながら今日までの人生を積み重ねてきました。そんな決して軽くない人生だからこそ、決断を求められる時にもその選択肢は重みを得るのです。軽々しい選択や万有は決して誇らしいものではない。真に誇るべきなのは、あなたのような真に重い人生を歩んできた者が本当に重い選択をした時なのです。
May seem arrogant of me to say, but right now I think that is exactly what Oishi needed to hear. Right, who among us had the right to admonish Oishi, the eldest one here? No one should be able to. Then isn't it arrogant of someone in my position to talk to him like
あ
this?
なたが冷静で落ち着きある選択をしようとも、勇敢で僕はあなたを称えましょう。それがあなたの悩み抜いた選択である限り。
ありがとう。なぜか一番嬉しかった言葉です。臆病な私に時間を許してくれてありがとう。
Will Oishi still be my ally? Will he help me? Maybe I should have said something else. But that wouldn't have reached his heart. Wanting help is my selfish request. Any words that disregarded the life he lived wouldn't reach him. I've seen all the long, hard, and painful, but fun days in Oishi's life since I was born. So, I understand. Even if you've been pursuing something for many years, it takes a lot of courage to give up something precious to reach it. That's right, I never would have been able to reach this point if I didn't have Keiichi and Akasaka standing beside me, encouraging me.
入江先生、たった一つだけでいいんです。教えてください。
ええ、何でも聞いてください。
私はおやっさんをバラバラにして殺
Nope.
した連中
Get
を
punked, idiot.
裏で糸を引いていたのは園崎家だと信じて追ってきました。それは正解ですかね。
いいえ、不正解です。ひなみ沢村連続開始事件は全ては私たち側から説明できることです。
そうですか。
Oishi pretended to scratch his head. Also, I just remembered the damn management and what that clinic had to do with it. I totally forgot. Yeah, he got killed and dismembered and they found one of the culprits with his hand. True, true. I just forgot. And then they experimented on one of the culprits. Oishi pretended to scratch his head. For so long, he pursued the case with that belief. Yet someone deeply involved was telling him he'd missed the mark, so he must have been feeling at least some frustration. What Irie said wouldn't be enough, so I have to continue.
大石、お社様のたたりと呼ばれる事件はどれもこの村のいかなる人物の暗躍によるものではありません。園崎家も御三家も、そして村人も一切が関係ないのです。
There were only misunderstandings, misinterpretations, coincidences, tragedies, and comedies. The real identity of the Curse of Oyashiro-sama is simply a series of misinterpretations. It only looks like the villagers are acting in secret.
それじゃあ私が今日まで集めてきた全部ガセだったって。
Well, if you ever wanted to write a cool story about a Yakuza family, at least you're well researched now.
園崎家当主にはいかなる天才もすべて自らの差し金であるように振る舞うべしという秘密。園崎家は何も知らない。いや、それどころか毎年起こる事件に怯えてすらいる。でもそれを家の威厳に組み込むため黒幕を装っているだけなのです。
そんな家訓があるんですか。なるほど。納
Yeah,
得
here
で
is
す。
probably like, why are these guys taking credit, man? They're not doing shit.
それが本当ならお寮のばあさんめくっ思わせぶりなことばっかり言いやがるな。
Actually get pranked.
それ本当なんですよね。
本当なのですよ。古出家当主の秘密巻物にも書いてあり
The
ます。
scrolls.
見ますですか？
I have no idea what Oishi thinks is so funny. Nobody here can tell what's going through Oishi's mind. However,
大石が嬉しい気持ち、僕にはわかりますです。
おや、何がわかるって言うんですか。
僕も初めの頃園崎家を疑っていました。でもそれが間違いと分かった時、とてもほっとして嬉しかったのです。憎む人がいなくなるというのはとてもとても幸せで気持ちいいことだってわかりますから。
まさかまさか園崎家が獅子骨市内を牛耳るたちの悪い暴力団組織であることに
True, true.
変わりはありませ
Did
ん。
you kill people on the regular?
連中のとこのチンピ
Despite
ラ
what
に
Mion
刺
says.
されたこともありますからね。
Damn.
別に開始事件の黒幕でないと分かったからといって私にとって敵対的な存在であることが変わるわけではありません。まあそれだけのことなんですがなぜか愉快になっちゃいましてね。
We don't know if this is right or not, because Oishi believed the Sodazaki family was behind it all. Now that he's learned that they're not, I'm sure he feels like everything he stands for has been made meaningless. But it's painful to keep on hating people. I searched for something in Oishi's self-deprecating laugh and tried to imagine it. Oishi left with a cigarette in his mouth, saying he wanted to cool off a little.
そろそろ時間もない。今後どうするか、それだけを考えよう。
はっきりしているのは高野の意図だけです。おそらく僕を拘束して綿流しのたたりの生贄とするつもりなのです。時期はわかりませんが、もう間もなくそれを実行に移してくるはずでしょう。それを逃れるためには。
分かってる。リカちゃんを守ることが俺たちの果たすべき最低の義務。
Mm-hmm.
どんな手を使ってでも攻撃させるわけにはいかない。相手の動きがはっきりとするまで下手に出歩かず、一番安全なところに避難すべきだろう。
そんな好条件の場所はあるでしょう。
リカちゃん、そろそろミオンたちに打ち明ける時が来たんじゃないか。
Meet the base again in her storage
身を
room.
隠すためにはみんなの力が
A
きっと役に立つと
Sonozaki
思うぞ。
fortress. Even before Keiichi spoke up, I was thinking the same thing. But even so, I still couldn't wipe away my unease. Things are going Wow, so far, but
みんな信じてくれますでしょうか？
yes, yes, no question about it. Literally
実
yes.
際に今晩犠牲者と行方不明になっている
And
人
this
がいる。
helps also, obviously, the victims.
こうなればさすがに事態の危険性を理解してもらえるだろう。それにみんなリカちゃんの余地のおかげで最悪の未来を回避することができたんだ。きっと今度はリカちゃんの力になってもらえるさ。
Ichi's words gave me the resolve to make up my mind.
わかりましたのです。それに園崎本家の地下西宮殿は立てこもるにはとても理想的な場所だったはずなのです。
Keiichi gave me a firm nod as soon as he heard that. Well, you don't know about it, but true. It is a fortress. Might be difficult to manage on my own, but I've got Keiichi backing me up, thinking that made me feel a bit more comfortable.
ところでさとこちゃんはどうしますか？
She's just kinda like in the middle of enemy base. As he said that, Irie turns to Totoro sleeping in the bed behind him, and we need her to set up some traps, man. We need her. If I were to disappear and leave Satoko behind, naturally they target her in order to find out my whereabouts. It would be risky if we woke her up now, but we can't leave her here. After all, this clinic is practically the enemy's home base. Yeah,
Satoko.
literally.
移動させなくてはい
Literally
け
need a
ないの
mover.
です。入江、今聡子はどんな状況ですか？
それが
Irie seemed like he was carefully choosing his words since it was something hard to say, but he eventually arrived at something and gave me a vague answer.
いいとは言えないんですが、悪いと
It
も
is
言えない。
neutral.
正直よくわからない状況なんです。
どういうこと？
脳波が入り乱れて
That was an
時折
age.
複雑な動きをします。おそらく夢を見ているんでしょうが、その度に苦しんだり泣いたりうめいたりして、
それっ
Wake
て
her up.
まさか。
しかし不思議なことにその夢見が終わった後は決まって穏やかな寝顔になるんです。ただその感覚も徐々に周期が縮まっています。これが何を意味するのか全く想像ができない。
聡子。
I don't know what's
可能
happening
であれ
either.
ば
Call a sleep
ゴムラの医療
therapist.
施設に移したいと思っています。あそこなら私の子飼い
Maybe
の
she's
スタッフも多いの
evolving.
で安心できると思うんですが、
山犬が高野の手の内にある以上、極
Yeah,
楽
don't
も
go to
完全に
Gogura,
は
man.
信用
That
でき
place
ない
is
のです。
always bad.
赤坂、何かいい方法はないでしょうか？
入江所長、聡子ちゃんの最低限の生命維持にはどれくらいの医療機材が必要
She's
となって
on
くるん
life
ですか？
support?
現時点では日常使用しているワクチンが最低限、そして脳波と
Okay,
脈
it's not
拍を計
exactly
測する
life
機器があ
support.
れば理想的です。
Jesus.
ただ電源等も含めて蛍光および仮設置は一般家庭の部屋でも可能ですので、一時的に場所を移転するのであれば問題はないかと思います。
だとしたら決まりだ。聡子もミオンのその地下西宮殿に搬送して二人でそこに立てこもったらいいんじゃないか。そうですよね、監督。
医師としてはあまり歓迎したくない事態で
It
すが、
is what it
状
is.
況
So
が状況
true.
です。致し方ないでしょう。ただそうなれば同じ意味でサトシ君も運び出す必要があります。
I don't think they can.
Uh.
We didn't move him last time. Keiichi was stunned, with his eyes open wide. Oh no, I haven't told Keiichi about this yet.
サトシって聡子の兄の王女サトシか？
Yep.
じゃあサトシってこの
え、リカさん？
ごめんなさいなのです。
I forgot. It's not really
まだ
important.
圭一たちにはサトシのことを
So maybe
話
this
して
will
い
give
なかったの
Shiona
ですよ。
Satoshi buff and she'll go Seto mode in the final fight when she's protecting Satoshi.
そうですか。
Irie was clutching at his head for accidentally letting that slip, But what has been said can't be taken back. Irie turned toward Keiichi, who was still looking bewildered, and continued his explanation.
今話した通り、この診療所には北条聡君がいます。訳あって周囲から隔離していましたが、彼もひなみ沢症候群の重度患者、そして被験者なんです。
Okay. I was gonna say, if they went to a Satoshi flashback, I'm like, man, this whole flashback sequence is a lot longer than I thought it would be. Anyways, we gotta end here, but good stuff. We're moving along. A little bit of a snoozer episode, since a lot of it was just stuff we already saw from Matsubayashi. Not exactly the same, but you know, the pension talk, Takano's motives and stuff. But I guess it needed to happen in this story, just for, you know, story reasons. But anyways, next time we'll, I guess, recruit Rena Mion and try to transport them. Hopefully that goes smoothly. I feel like it might be hard to do it discreetly, but we shall see. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Later.